Hi everyone, welcome to my video for learning sun salutations. And before we get started, I just want you to make sure that you've got lots of space around your mat and there's nothing that could possibly get in your way as you begin to move. And if you have any aches or pains, make sure that you consult somebody medical, either physiotherapist, GP, or your instructor, whether it's me or somebody else, before you do this video. And if you're not sure about something that might be giving you a little bit of discomfort or pain, please stop and just adjust what you're doing. Wait until next time before you try again. So for sun salutations, there are different styles of sun salutations. What I am going to teach you how to do today is sun salutation A. So this is quite a dynamic sequence from Ashtanga yoga. It's at the start of what is known as the primary series in Ashtanga yoga. So it's a really long sequence, and to do the entire Ashtanga sequence would take you about an hour and a half. This is a series of moves that is always at the very beginning, and it's designed to build heat throughout the body. So it's a really good thing to do to warm your body up before you do any more intense type of stretching or other exercise as well. So sun salutation A, we're going to start off beginner option and then just start to build it up. So you do what is suitable for you today. So we're going to be standing up to get started, and we're going to have your two big toes touching at the top of your mat, a little gap, just a little one in between your heels. And then we're going to make sure that we're not kind of throwing out your rib cage and we're not arching the back. So we're just going to try and find a neutral pelvis. So you might need to have a little bit of a tuck underneath of your tailbone to feel as though your hip bones are pointing forward and you're nice and straight. Now our first pose, it's called arms above the head in English. That is how it's translated, Urdhva. Arms reach up. It's not a back bend. Sometimes we see people doing this, and that's just something else. It's not part of sun salutation A. So we want to reach up the arms, palms touch and press together if you can, and we're not throwing out the back. We're lifting the waist up away from the hips and stretching and lifting upwards, lifting the rib cage up, but we're not arching the back. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears, lift the thigh muscles up away from the knees, drawing the inner thighs together. Take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to bring the hands down, draw the belly button into the spine and forward fold, leading with your chest. So we're nice and long through the spine, and then you take hold as we nod the head down of wherever you need to. And then when we're ready to breathe in, we're going to lift the chest up halfway. Draw the shoulders back. So again, we're coming into a flat back position, halfway lift here. As we breathe out, we fold it back down over your legs, softening your knees if you need to. If you're tight in your hamstrings, please do bend the knees. It's more important to have a nice long straight back than straight legs, and straight legs will come in the end. Now, when you're ready to breathe in, we're going to reach up the arms over the head. And as we breathe out, palms touch and come down through the center of the chest. And we'll do that 2 or 3 more times. That is just the very first 2 movements or 3 movements of our sun salutation A. So we're really breaking it down. Toes touch, a little gap in the heels. Try and have equal weight spread across the feet. Lift and engage the thighs. Hip bones pointing forward, shoulders soften back. Breathe in, arms reach up. Breathe out as we forward bend, leading with your chest, bending your knees as and when you need to. Nod the head right down, holding your legs, your ankles, or maybe hands on the ground. We breathe into halfway lift, rise into the fingertips, or just sliding the hands a little higher wherever you need them to be. As we breathe out, pull your belly to your spine and we fold it back down, nod the head. Breathe in, arms reach and lift up above. Palms touch and hands come down through heart center again. And we'll do that one more time. Remember to be careful with your hamstrings. If you've been doing a lot of exercise at home at the moment, a lot of running, bend your knees. It's not a crime. Definitely bend the knees. Inhale, arms reach above the head, palms touch. Exhale as we forward bend. And hold on to the legs, nod the head. Inhale, halfway lift as we draw the shoulders back away from the ears. And then exhale, fold it back down, draw the belly button to the spine, nod the head. Breathe in, arms reach up above. And breathe out, palms touch and hands come down. Let's go one more time. Inhale, nice and fluid, reach up. Exhale, palms touch, forward bend over the legs, nod the head. Inhale, lift halfway. shoulders back, chest forward. Exhale, belly to spine as we fold back down. Inhale, reach up the arms overhead, gazing up to the hands. Exhale, palms touch and hands release to heart center. So that's a really nice way to start feeling like your hamstrings are loosening up a little bit. We're going to take it further into the next stage, which is something that you may have done before, the Sun Salutation A, and you may be aware of some of the names. I'm going to talk you through the next stage. Difficult part called Chaturanga. In English, it's called press up position sometimes. So we'll go through beginner's option for Chaturanga. It is a very difficult pose, probably one of the most difficult poses for people to master. So shoulders back, lift and engage the thighs. Inhale and we reach up the arms. Remember, it's not a back bend. We're just gazing up to the hands. As we exhale, hands come down. Forward bend, draw the belly button into the spine. Nod the head, holding where you can. Breathe in, lifting halfway, shoulders back. Breathe out and we fold, draw the belly in. This time, bend the knees, hands on the ground. Step all the way to the back of your mat with your right leg. Step all the way to the back with your left leg. Then we're going to place your knees to the ground. So here, to make it a little easier, if you're tight in your upper body, go a bit wider with your hands. We're going to do an arch, or we're going to have an arch through the spine here. So we're going to bend the elbows, allow your upper back to arch as we start to bring your chin and chest onto the ground. Then we're going to release the legs backwards. Keep pressing firmly into the hands. Keep the elbows drawn in as we roll the upper body up into Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. Stay there so those elbows are lifted, tucked into the waist, gazing towards the tip of the nose. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. We roll it back down. And then nose on the ground, toes under. Push up onto the hands and knees. And then up into downward facing dog. And in your downward facing dog, this one might be a bit more familiar. We're going to stay for a few breaths. So we're going to have feet nice and wide, about hip distance. Hands are shoulder width or a bit wider, again, if your upper body is tight. Try not to arch the spine, pressing that chest forward. If you're very flexible, we don't want an arch in the spine. So gently tuck in the front of the ribs as you look back between the legs, and you can definitely bend the knees here. If your legs are struggling, if the heels don't reach the ground, bend the knees. And take a nice deep breath in. Slowly breathe out. One more here, deep breath in. Slowly breathe out. Now we're going to look forward. This can be tricky to come back to the top. So when you're ready, just begin to walk the feet to the hands. When you can't go any further, walk the hands back to the feet. We're going to lift halfway. So breathe in, flat back, shoulders back. Breathe out, fold, draw the belly button to the spine, head to the knee. Inhale, reach up the arms over the head. And then exhale, palms touch and hands come down. And we'll do it again. So we'll just make it as much as possible nice and fluid. And I'm going to show you that beginner option maybe once or twice more before we take it further. So toes touch, a little gap in between the heels, hip bones pointing forward, shoulders soften back. Breathe in, arms reach up overhead, palms press, engaging through the legs as we exhale. Forward bend, draw the belly button to the spine, softening the knees when you need to, nod the head. Inhale, lifting halfway. Flat back, chest forward, shoulders back. As we exhale, fold again, knees bend, hands down. Stepping back your feet to the back of your mat. And then lowering down the knees. And then elbows bend as we begin to take your chin and chest to the ground. Now really do try and get your chin and chest on the floor. Relax the legs backwards as we let the chest stay down. And then just press it into those hands. Draw the shoulders back as we lift the chest. And keep those elbows tucked into the waist. Breathe in, Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Breathe out as we roll it back down. And then toes under, coming up into downward facing dog. Or Adho Mukha Svasana, looking back towards the belly button. And spread the fingers in your downward dog. Press down into that index finger joint. If you need it, bend the knees. Relax through the back of the neck and breathe steady. Try and take your breath to be a little bit more deep and a little bit more full. And then when you're ready to look forward, or when you're ready to breathe in, I should say, we look forward. As we breathe out, we begin to walk the feet to the hands, or the hands backwards to the feet. Breathing in, we lift halfway, flat back, shoulders draw back. As we breathe out, forward bend over the legs, nod the head. Try and walk those feet together. And then breathe in, reach up the arms over the head. Breathe out, palms touch. And hands come down through the heart center. Really good, everyone. Let's step it up a level. So instead of bringing our knees down for chaturanga, this time I'm going to show you how to do the full chaturanga pose. Like I said, it is very difficult. So if you find that you're kind of feeling a bit like you're not sure if you're doing it right, then just go back to knees down. What you should feel is the stress or the effort, the weight bearing in the backs of the arms. You don't want to feel like your shoulders are coming up here to the ears. That's a sign that the full pose isn't quite right for you yet. But I'll show you the wrong way and I'll show you the right way. So feet together, a little gap in the heels, shoulders rolling back and down. Breathe in, arms reach and lift. Breathe out as we forward bend over the legs, nod the head. Inhale, lifting halfway, shoulders back. Exhale, stepping back, plank pose. At this point, you put your knees down if you want to. If you want to try that full chaturanga or press up position, the only thing to move here are that the elbows bend. So breathe in again. Breathing out, the elbows bend close to the waist and we begin to hover the body, shoulders and elbows line up. Press then into the hands, roll yourself up and forward in upward dog. Push into the tops of the feet to lift just the thighs, chest lifting, shoulders down, and then rolling over your toes or stepping one at a time, downward facing dog. Looking back towards the belly, nice and long in the back of the neck, spread the fingers. Pressing down to the index finger joint just helps to balance the weight across your hand. If you can, lift and engage the thighs in your downward dog. Don't worry if you need to still bend the knees at this point, bend them. That's going to help you get that length in the spine, the stretch in the hamstrings. That's all we need. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Doesn't matter what someone else does. What matters is that you find the stretch, you find the challenge, and that's enough. You're not pushing yourself too far into any discomfort. Now breathing in, we look forward. Breathing out, you could step this time. Your feet up to the hands one at a time, or you can walk like before. Breathe in, lift halfway, shoulders back, chest forward. Breathe out as you fold over your legs. Head to your knee, nodding your head. Breathing in, reaching up your arms overhead, and exhale. Palms touch, hands come down. And let's do that again together. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, nice firm thighs as we forward bend, belly button to spine, head toward the knee. Inhale, lifting halfway, and remember you can soften your knees to take the pressure off. Exhale, stepping yourself back, looking forward, and then lowering down. Make sure that you don't lead by putting your bum in the air, so nice and level in plank. Exhale to lower and hover. Press into the hands. Inhale, roll up, upward dog, shoulders back and down. Exhale, toes underneath in downward dog. And we're going to stay for a count of 3. For 2. Shoulders staying back. Thigh muscles lifting up from the knees, engaging those quads. And 1, looking forward. You could walk, you could step, or you could bend your knees. Inhale. Exhale to hop. Feet to hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale as you fold your head to your knee. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, palms touch and hands come down. I'm going to show you one more variation. This is how not to do chaturanga though. I did tell you I was going to show you how sometimes it's done wrong. Sometimes it's a bit like this. This is what I might see in class. Kind of like a Mexican wave onto the floor. Another way it can be done wrong is bum in the air first, and then people go down there. So it can be very difficult to learn where your body is in space, but all I can say, the best thing is feeling the challenge in the right areas. So you should feel your core switch on, you should feel the backs of the arms working, and it should feel like you can hold yourself in line, in a straight line at the bottom, so shoulders and elbows line up. It can be useful to do this near a mirror so you can see shoulders and elbows line up, or you can use blocks. So we would have the block next to the hand, and then as you lower, you're not going to come too far. The block is going to be there to give you a little bit of a guide. So I'm going to show you one final variation which is more difficult, and that is the jump. Some people do this, they jump to plank. Now anybody can do that really, it's not that difficult. What we want to do is jump to chaturanga. So chaturanga is not plank. Plank is high with your arms straight. Chaturanga is that low position here. So we want to jump and land in that position with your elbows already bent. It requires more strength because you are stopping yourself in a certain point. So you've got the strength to jump back to plank. That's not too difficult. But having the strength to jump back and land low and effectively put the brakes on where you decide, not where gravity will let your feet land, is a bit different. So I'll show you that. Feet together, a little gap in between the heels. Lift and engage the thighs. Let's take a deep breath in. Slow breath out. As we breathe in, reach up the arms over the head. As we breathe out, forward bend. Softening your knees if you need to, holding your legs or hands on the ground. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale and step, or we bend the knees and try to hop. Landing with the elbows bent in chaturanga, press into the hands. Inhale to roll yourself forward, hips to wrists, in upward dog, shoulders back. Exhale, toes under, downward dog. Looking back towards the belly, slow the breath, spread the fingers, bend the knees if you need to. For 3, 2, and 1. Looking forward, you could walk, hop, or step your feet to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold over the legs, nod the head. Inhale, arms reach up above. Exhale, palms touch, hands come down in front of your heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Keep the hands in front of your chest or rest them by the sides. And just take some nice deep full breaths. So breathe into the back and into the sides. Exhale everything slowly. And as you breathe into the back and into the sides, we try and feel like the trunk of the body is expanding in every direction with your inhale. Keeping the lift in the chest as you exhale. And just have that deeper breath in one more time. Exhale everything slowly. And then open your eyes. I hope that has been useful for you, everyone, to have a little bit of an insight, a little bit of guidance with Sun Salutation A. It's definitely a very useful sequence to learn, and you could do them really slowly with your knees on the ground, with doing missing out that upward dog and just doing them beginner option to bring a little bit of mobility to those big joints in the body and to stretch you out. Nice and slow is a really nice way to do them. But as you get familiar with them, you can do them much more quickly, making them a little bit more cardio focused and just getting a little bit more of a challenge from them. So you can use them after a workout, you can use them before a workout, you can do them when you feel like you've got a bit of energy to burn, whatever you want them for. I will give you some more videos. I'll be posting lots more videos. So just as always, give me some feedback, whatever you would like some videos on. I'll do my best to include into my videos. And as always, I will be delighted to see some feedback just about how you're getting on with everything really. So have a nice rest of your day or evening, whatever time it is with you at the moment. And I will see you very soon. Bye.